What really happens when men turn 80 to 7 surprising truths about aging. Introduction, 4 to 5 minutes. Have you ever wondered what really happens when a man turns 80? Many people imagine this milestone as a sudden doorway to decline, a moment when energy, memory, and independence seem to slip away all at once. But the truth is much more complex, and far more inspiring. At 80, the human body and mind don't suddenly shut down. Instead, they reveal patterns, subtle signals that speak volumes about health, resilience, and longevity. Some men in their 80s still walk tall with surprising strength, while others move more slowly, leaning on a cane. Some remain mentally sharp, telling stories with crystal clarity, while others forget names and details of daily life. What makes the difference? It's not simply fate, luck, or even genetics, it's the accumulation of choices made over decades. Lifestyle patterns, social connections, emotional health, and small daily habits shape how this stage of life feels and unfolds. In today's video, we're going to talk about 7 things that really happen when men turn 80. These are not myths, guesses, or stereotypes. They're truths confirmed by researchers, doctors, and countless families who have witnessed them firsthand. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand what to expect but also discover the steps men can take, whether for yourself or someone you love, to make life after 80 stronger, healthier, and more meaningful. And don't miss the 7th point, it may be the most unexpected of all, and it could completely change the way you think about aging. So, let's dive in. 1. Decline in physical strength, 6 to 7 minutes. One of the clearest changes at 80 is the decline in physical strength. But here's the important truth, it's not just about how much weight you can lift. It's about how the body recovers, how much stamina you have for everyday activities, and how resilient you are after illness or injury. Why does this happen? After age 80, muscle mass naturally declines at a faster pace due to sarcopenia, the medical term for age-related muscle loss. Recovery times stretch longer. What once took days now takes weeks. Even ordinary efforts, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, or bending to tie shoes, can feel heavier. 2 stories illustrate the difference. Thomas, age 81, committed to light strength training and daily walks. He still climbs stairs without stopping, grips firmly, and maintains balance. Raymond, also 81, slowed down years ago. He avoids walking, gets winded crossing a room, and struggles to carry groceries. Both men are the same age, yet their quality of life is worlds apart. Why does this matter? Because muscle loss doesn't just affect independence, it increases fall risk, weakens immunity, and even discourages socializing. A weaker body often leads to a weaker spirit. But here's the good news. Even after 80, the body still responds to movement. Simple resistance exercises, light weights, or resistance bands build back strength. Balance exercises prevent falls. Gentle stretching reduces stiffness and keeps joints mobile. A protein-rich diet, eggs, beans, fish, yogurt, supports muscle maintenance. Ask yourself, do ordinary tasks feel heavier? Have you stopped doing things you once enjoyed? If so, it may be time to rebuild strength even in small ways. Because at 80, how you move is not a reflection of age alone. It's a reflection of vitality you can still protect. 2. Cognitive shifts, 6 to 7 minutes. The second reality of turning 80 is a change in how the brain processes information. Many men notice that recalling names, finding words, or keeping track of details takes longer. The truth. Processing speed slows down. Short-term memory lapses increase. Multitasking feels harder. But, and this is crucial, this does not automatically mean dementia. Most often, it's the brain adapting to aging. Think of Albert and Frank, both 82. Albert occasionally forgets where his glasses are but recalls vivid stories, reasons clearly, and advises his children wisely. His wisdom outweighs his forgetfulness. Frank, however, ignores his lapses. He forgets bills, medications, and conversations, frustrating himself and worrying his family. The difference? Awareness. Ignoring memory lapses risks confusion, accidents, and dependence. Recognizing them early allows action. What helps? Brain-stimulating activities, reading, puzzles, learning a new skill, or even playing an instrument. Social interaction keeps the mind sharp. Physical exercise improves blood flow to the brain. Good nutrition, omega-3s, leafy greens, berries, protects memory. Medical checks can rule out sleep apnea, medication side effects, or early cognitive decline. The hopeful truth, even in the 80s, the brain is still adaptable. Men who stay curious, social, and engaged often remain sharper than expected. 3. Changes in sleep patterns, 6 to 7 minutes. By 80, sleep often changes. Nights become shorter, lighter, and more fragmented. Why? Circadian rhythms shift. Prostate issues, pain, and medications interrupt rest. Deep, restorative sleep becomes harder to achieve. 2 examples. William, age 82, practices sleep hygiene, steady bedtime, morning sunlight, no late heavy meals. He manages 6 to 7 steady hours of refreshing sleep. Robert, same age, naps in his chair during the day, tosses at night, and wakes up drained. Over time, his fatigue makes him less active, less sharp, and less social. The risks of poor sleep. Memory decline. Weakened immunity. Increased falls and confusion. Higher stress and blood pressure. What helps? Consistent routines. Limiting naps and caffeine. Cool, dark, quiet bedrooms. Evening relaxation rituals, reading, stretching, calming music. Medical evaluation for sleep apnea or restless legs syndrome. Ask yourself, do you wake up more often at night? Do you still feel tired in the morning? If so, it's time to make changes. Because sleep at 80 isn't just about comfort, it's about protecting body and mind for the years ahead. 4. Digestive and appetite changes, 6 to 7 minutes. At 80, many men notice appetite changes. Food may lose flavor, hunger signals weaken, or digestion feels slower. Why? Metabolism slows down. Taste and smell dull. Medications alter food experience. The risk is twofold. Eating too little leads to unintentional weight loss, weakness, and poor immunity. Eating too much processed food for convenience leads to malnutrition. 2 men, Gerald and Martin, show the contrast. Gerald schedules balanced meals, adds herbs and spices, and enjoys cooking with his wife. His energy and weight remain steady. Martin skips meals, relies on canned snacks, and loses weight without realizing the damage. His body weakens, and recovery slows. The lesson: appetite is not just about food, it's about vitality. Tips for better nutrition at 80. Eat smaller, frequent meals. Use herbs and spices to enhance flavor. Choose nutrient-dense foods, eggs, beans, yogurt, lean meats, vegetables. Drink water regularly, even before feeling thirsty. Share meals socially, companionship restores appetite. Nutrition is fuel for resilience. Without it, decline accelerates. 5. Emotional resilience, 6 to 7 minutes. At 80, emotional resilience is tested like never before. Loss of peers, health struggles, or reduced independence can bring sadness or fear. Some men feel lonely, others anxious. But psychology studies show something remarkable. Older adults also gain the capacity for greater acceptance, reflection, and calm. 2 examples. Harold copes with struggles by journaling, practicing deep breathing, and staying connected with friends. His family sees him as steady and calm. Leonard carries his fears silently. His mood grows heavier, his health declines, and his family feels his worry. What makes the difference? Coping methods. Men who suppress feelings often suffer in silence. Those who open up, adapt, and lean on relationships remain resilient. Practical steps for resilience. Talking openly with trusted friends or family. Relaxation techniques, breathing, meditation, prayer. Staying engaged in hobbies and spiritual practices. Seeking counseling or group support if needed. At 80, true strength is not only in muscles, it's in the spirit that adapts with dignity and hope. 6. Shrinking social circles, 6 to 7 minutes. One of the most visible changes after 80 is the shrinking of social networks. Friends pass away, mobility declines, and men often withdraw. But here's the truth, isolation is one of the biggest threats to longevity. Studies show that loneliness increases risk of heart disease, memory decline, and early death. Eugene and Walter show the contrast. Eugene makes weekly calls, attends church, and visits a community center. He builds new connections, keeping life full of conversation and laughter. Walter withdraws, avoids calls, and tells himself he prefers being alone. His spirit fades, and so does his health. The danger: without social ties, men lose motivation to eat well, stay active, or maintain routines. The solution: reach out, even in small ways. Join groups based on hobbies or faith. Use technology to connect with family. Remember, relationships at 80 are not luxuries, they are necessities. Ask yourself, has your social circle grown smaller? Do you sometimes go days without meaningful conversation? If yes, it's time to reach out. Because connection keeps both body and spirit alive. 7. Perspective on life and legacy, 7 to 8 minutes. Finally, at 80, men sharpen their perspective on life and legacy. This stage is less about daily achievements and more about meaning. What values have I passed on? How will I be remembered? Arthur and Dennis, both 84, show the difference. Arthur writes family stories, shares wisdom with grandchildren, and openly talks about what matters. His family feels grateful and connected. Dennis avoids such conversations, leaving his family uncertain and himself restless. Legacy isn't about wealth. It's about kindness, wisdom, lessons, resilience. Those who embrace it often find renewed peace and purpose. Ways to shape legacy at 80. Write letters or memoirs. Record family stories. Teach traditions or skills. Speak openly about values and wishes. It's never too late to create meaning. Legacy gives purpose to every day still lived. Final thoughts, 6 to 7 minutes. So, what really happens when men turn 80? Muscles weaken, but activity restores them. Memory slows, but wisdom deepens. Sleep fragments, but routines improve it. Appetite fades, but mindful nutrition sustains. Emotions are tested, but resilience grows. Social circles shrink, but connection can be rebuilt. Legacy becomes sharper, giving purpose to life. The truth is, 80 is not the end of growth. It's the stage where wisdom, perspective, and small daily choices shape the quality of the years ahead. If you or someone you love is nearing this milestone, remember, the choices you make today, staying active, staying curious, staying connected, will decide whether the years ahead are marked by decline or filled with dignity, meaning, and joy. Thank you for joining us. Leave a comment below. Which of these 7 truths spoke to you the most? Your insights help us inspire and guide others. And if you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating meaningful content for seniors and their families. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.